Next up for Altrincham Football Club, it's Scunthorpe United coming to the Davidson Stadium on Saturday. We're talking to Altrincham's newly appointed manager, Neil Gibson. Neil, Scunthorpe United, big name, of course, with the proud history that they have got. And I think it's fair to say that despite that big name, they've surprised a few people this season. Yeah,
I think they have. Only, purely on the basis of they're a newly promoted team. I watched a little bit of them last season in the National League North, and they were they were a very good team. They were very good and well drilled in how they tried to play in possession of the football and what they tried to do out of possession. Did I expect them to be as strong as they have been so far this season? I thought they'd been in around the top half, and I think even themselves, probably when you build momentum from getting up and promoted in the fashion that they were promoted, it gives you that real momentum to continue into the next season. And once you start picking up results early on, the confidence grows and grows. So look, we are fully aware of the threats that Scunthorpe will try and pose to us in the game on Saturday, and if we're nowhere near our best, will be a real difficult fixture for us. However, we're working this week on areas we feel can cause them some issues when we've got the football, and areas that we have to be very aware of how Scunthorpe play, that we need to make sure that we eradicate their opportunities.
In terms of match winners, they've got a few in the form of Danny Whitehall, most obviously, Callum Roberts as well, who's a fantastic player, and also Declan Howe, who had a great season with Gainsborough last year, and he's settled into National League football well.
Yeah, I mean, when anyone that scores the amount of goals that he scored, whatever level that happens to be at, that they're going to be able to score goals and create chances and have opportunities when they go onto a football pitch, whatever level they then move on to play at. We know that they've got a lot of attacking threats, even in certain areas on the pitch, in fullback areas. They like the fullbacks join in. They're very comfortable being in the final third and what they're trying to do, and the ways that they're trying to break you down in the final third. And if we're not aware of those aspects, then we'll have to ensure that certain players are taken care of in terms of when we're without the ball, and we'll have to ensure that we have an opportunity to control the football, to try and dictate the game, because when we're playing at home, despite whoever the opposition may well be, we want to take the game to our opponents. We want to be the team that's on the front foot, and we want to be giving our supporters something to cheer. I felt that in the Brackley game, it was probably as good as we've been for maybe a month or two in terms of a home performance, with us looking after the football and creating more chances. And I think that's the recipe that we're probably looking for again on Saturday, because we've won the last two home games, the two that we've been in charge of, and we want to try and keep that home form going.
Yeah, 100% record here at the Davidson Stadium. It'd be nice, really nice to keep that going. Scunthorpe have only lost one game at home and one game away from home, so they're clearly a very difficult side to beat, and the overall record, 1-10, drawn 7, lost 2, is outstanding.
Yeah, it's absolutely outstanding, and that's a message that we've had to relay to the players in terms of when you look at the Scunthorpe as a team, and you look at areas that you can try to find ways of beating them to get the positive result that we're looking for, is that the biggest thing is going to be is the resilience of Scunthorpe as a group, because any team has got to this stage of the season and only lost 2 games, as you rightly say, have got a group and a team spirit, and they're fighting for each other, and that's what we're trying to instill in our group at the moment in time. I think we're seeing shoots of it, and I think we look like we're very much well connected, where we're fighting to make sure we get results for each other, in terms of how we defend our 18-yard box and how we are trying to build up to get more opportunities in their 18-yard box. So Scunthorpe do a lot of things well. It's a lot of the things that we're trying to ensure that we can do well as a group ourselves moving forward. And I think it'll be prior to the Southend game, obviously at the weekend, where we came on the back of a really disappointing result. The players have probably in a position, so far this week where they're really itching to put that right. We felt like we were on a really good positive run up until that point, so the quicker you can get back in positive results and positive form, the better. And it's a great opportunity for us on Saturday, because whenever you play against your home, in front of your home crowd, it's an opportunity to go and keep that run going.
We lost Dan Sassy to 2 yellow cards on Saturday at Southend United. That's a 1-game ban for him. And has that made it even more aware to you that we need a little bit of extra cover in that central defensive position, particularly as we're playing 3 at the back at the minute? Yeah,
obviously. I mean, look, we're probably in a situation since we've came into the football club where we've changed the system slightly. We tweaked it again at different points in the last 3 or 4 games. We have got the opportunity to obviously potentially go to a back 4 as well, if we feel that that's the right thing to do this weekend with Dan Sassy being suspended. We do obviously have Sam Barnes making his way back as well to fitness, so we do have good options there. However, I think with the positive news of Lewis Banks coming through his operation at the weekend, and hopefully he's on the road to recovery as well. Now we know we're missing a good number of players who in defensively would give us good options, so it's up to the players that are available to stand up and be counted, because we've got 3 clean sheets, as I say, prior to the game against Southend in the league, and we've then obviously conceded in the last minute against Brackley, which was really, really disappointing, and then we've gone and conceded 3 against Southend. So where we want to do is we want to get our defensive unit back to a point where we're keeping clean sheets, and that gives us a real good strong foothold to go on and win games of football.
Should be a terrific occasion on Saturday for your first home game as the permanent manager of the football club. It's the first time that Scunthorpe United have played here on a Saturday. They're going to travel very, very well, and we can expect a good crowd, particularly after we got nearly 2,000 in the last home game against Brackley, which was very encouraging.
Yeah, and look, it was great to see, nearly 2,000 here for the Brackley game, and we're trying to build on it as much as we possibly can. It's a very conscious effort of the football, from the playing side, that the football aspect that we want to deliver, the brand of football we want to deliver, is something we want to try and attract fans in through the gates to come and watch us and get behind us. The players want to try and build a connection, because I'm firmly of the opinion in all the clubs that I've been at previously that myself and Lee and the rest of the staff will try and build a strong bond. We're approachable, hard-working guys who want to try and represent the supporters as best as we possibly can during the week to get the players in the right frame of mind to be ready to go out and play. And we want the players to then go onto the pitch and represent us and the supporters and the football club by giving it their absolute all. So if we can do that at this weekend, and we can build on that, then hopefully the supporters will come through the gates more, and we can start to really build what we want to do and what we want to achieve together as a full group of people.